good cyber security.
One thing I've noticed, do you think there's still an onus on Australian company directors to find out about these issues rather than relying on the bottom-up feed? They need to be pushing down in relation to leadership. Everyone knows that cyber security is a critical issue and continues to emerge. Is there not an onus on executive management?
Absolutely, and that's the fourth mindset, the executive mindset. The techies may well be communicating amongst themselves, and often they do that because they haven't been resourced, so they don't bother going up to the executive chain. But it's up to the executives to give a hearing to those technical people. The technical people have got to speak in a language that they understand. They've got to talk about risk, they've got to talk about consequence, and the executives have to make time for that. You know, the CEO of a company, of a government organisation, should know what sort of questions to ask those in his organisation or her organisation who provide
That's the key part right there, isn't it? They need to be
Yeah.
asking questions, as any board would, any CEO should be asking questions if they don't understand the issues.
Yeah.
I suppose my point is that the onus is on them, because if something goes wrong, they're the ones at the helm.
Yeah, they can make the IT security people responsible, but ultimately the board, the directors are accountable.
You started your presentation with saying, you give me access to the internet, you give me a laptop, and a couple of days of research, and I can access, or my company can access any network. How would you rate Australia's cyber resilience? Whether you want to do it out of 10 or just discuss it, it's up to you.
Look, I think out of 10, and it's fraught with danger making those sort of ratings, but I'd probably say we're about 5 or 6.
Okay.
Some people will say the sky is falling, but I think in Australia we've got the edge over some countries. Our government is moving forward on this, probably could move forward faster. Our industry is engaging with government to help meet the cyber security challenge, but we've still got a long way to go. We see reports every day of companies, of organisations being hacked and losing their trophy information. The most recent being the allegations made, the truck driver who was charged for various hacking offences. And he is an amateur. He was described as an evil mastermind. The courts will determine whether he's evil or not, but he certainly wasn't a mastermind. So if someone with such simple tools that he used off the internet can virtually destroy a company through his activities, then we do still have a long way to go.
And I suppose, and the anonymous group, a bunch of 16-year-olds with nothing but time and some basic reading skills that can apply to stuff. For me as a businessman, and seeing a rollout of the NBN and the like, I still find it quite concerning that a 16-year-old kid or a truck driver can go on the internet and almost follow it like a recipe as to what to do. What can be done about it?
Well, that is certainly a concern. I think what needs to be done about it is change the way we think about security. The reason people with tools straight off the internet and basic skills can do such damage is because we focus on protecting the system, the infrastructure. And we've got to bear in mind that our ICT systems, our computer systems, were put in place to manage, to manipulate, to communicate information. And we sort of forget that the reason they're there is because of the information. That's our asset. That's where we've got to focus our protective measures. If we continue with the fortress mentality, we'll continue to see hacking. And with the NBN, I think that's going to introduce some great innovation for us, an ability to use the internet communications much more effectively in Australia. But I don't think the introduction of the NBN introduces any greater a threat than we face now. It's that mindset about our information.
Okay. And recently BAE acquired Stratsec in a $20 million plus deal. As the head of cybersecurity and now taking over the CEO role, what were some of the main challenges for you?
Well, my main challenge personally was moving from government into industry and then being thrust into the position of a CEO of a very successful company, but it was a great challenge. The real challenge for us in Stratsec as part of BAE is to make sure we don't diminish those things, those good things about Stratsec that caused BAE to believe it was a good company to buy. So we have a great culture in Stratsec. We have a great culture in BAE Systems, which is why I joined BAE Systems. What we've got to do, and my challenge is to bring those cultures together to advance rather than have anything impede our advancement. My real role, if you like, in moving BAE Systems and Stratsec together to offer far more sophisticated security services is to keep one foot on the accelerator and one foot on the brake. The foot on the accelerator is to exploit the benefits of being part of a global company like BAE Systems and putting a foot on the brake so that those things that come with being part of such a large organisation don't stifle or crush a relatively small company like Stratsec.
I mean, Stratsec had a great name. I first came across them back in 2005, 2006, I think. You've now got offices in most states in Singapore and Malaysia, I understand.
That's correct.
Are you looking at expanding those?
We have offices now. The main offices that we have are Canberra, Sydney and Melbourne. We have people in Adelaide now as part of the BAE presence. We've just started an office in Brisbane. We've had a person here in Perth for some time, and I've now given the green light to expand our presence over here as well. We're doing well in South Asia, and we like to say, and our vision is our goal, that we want to be the smartest, strongest and most respected cybersecurity company in Australasia and Southeast Asia, and I think we're a long way there. So KL and Singapore will be our jumping off point, if you like, to provide services into the region as well.
Great. Well, Stratsec won the Telstra Business of the Year award in 2010. So Tim, good luck for your future award. You're the most awarded cybersecurity company in Australia, so I'm sure that they'll keep rolling in.
That's correct, and I personally can't take credit for that. That's Doug Stewart, Pete Lilly and Nick Elsmore, the former directors of the company.
They've certainly set the benchmark for you.
They certainly have, yes.
So good luck with it.
Thank you.
Thanks very much.
Thanks, Chris.